post-Revolutionary War slang, phrases the origins of which you may be surprised by. These represent slang language and cultural phrases from the newly formed United States, post-1783, and into the Lewis and Clark expedition under President Thomas Jefferson, 1804 to 1806. Use them wisely. Pay the piper, meaning to face the consequences of one's actions. Example, we've been avoiding taxes for years, but now it's time to pay the piper. These phrases were part of everyday American speech as people navigated life in a fledgling nation, often drawing from practical, military, or rural experiences. In 1284, while the town of Hamelin was suffering from a rat infestation, a piper dressed in multicolored, pied clothing appeared, claiming to be a rat catcher. He promised the mayor a solution to their problem with the rats. The mayor, in turn, promised to pay him 1,000 guilders for the removal of the rats. The piper accepted and played his pipe to lure the rats into the Weser River, where all the rats drowned. Despite the piper's success, the mayor reneged on his promise and refused to pay him the full sum, even going so far as to blame the piper for bringing the rats himself in an extortion attempt. Enraged, the piper stormed out of the town, vowing to return later to take revenge. On St. John and Paul's Day, while the adults were in church, the piper returned, dressed in green like a hunter and playing his pipe. In so doing, he attracted the town's children. 130 children followed him out of town and into a cave, after which they were never seen again. Pay the piper or face the consequences. Here's another. Dressed to the nines, meaning wearing very fancy or fashionable clothing. Example, he showed up to the ball, dressed to the nines in his best coat. The phrase dressed to the nines comes from the Scottish idiom to the nines, which means to perfection or to the highest degree. The phrase is often used to describe someone who is wearing very stylish or elegant clothes, especially for a special occasion. Here are some possible origins for the phrase Scottish origin. The earliest written example of the phrase is from William Hamilton's 1719 epistle to Ramsay. Robert Burns also used the phrase in his 1791 poem on pastoral poetry. The Scottish National Dictionary speculates that the phrase may come from the game of nine pins, where 9 is the highest possible score on a single throw. Number 9. The number 9 has special significance in the English language, as in cloud 9 and the whole 9 yards. In Christianity, the Holy Spirit has 9 fruits and gifts, and the ancient Greeks had 9 muses. In medieval Europe, the 9 worthies were men from pagan, Jewish, and Christian history who personified chivalry. Bear in mind also that 9 was and is the largest single-digit natural number, which may have played a role in its usage as the top pinnacle. A square meal is a substantial, well-balanced meal. For example, after a long day's work, nothing beats a square meal. The term square meal is a nautical term from the days of old sailing ships. Any significant meals, usually the last one of the day, would be eaten off a square-shaped wooden plate, which also served as the tray. A decent meal on board, according to regulation, became known as a square meal. The components of a square meal, according to the 4 square food groups, became meat and fish, dairy and eggs, vegetables and fruits, and grains and starches. Another interesting phrase is cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey, which means extremely cold weather. For instance, it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey out here today. The phrase is said to have originated from the use of brass trays, called monkeys, to store cannonballs on ships during the 16th to 18th centuries. The theory is that the brass trays would contract in very cold temperatures, causing the iron cannonballs to fall off. Brass contracts more than iron, so in especially cold weather, the brass trays would shrink, causing the cannonballs to roll over the deck. The phrase brass monkey weather is used to describe extremely cold weather. For example, according to Al Roker, next week's weather is going to be so cold that it'll be real brass monkey weather. In a pickle. The idiom in a pickle means to be in a difficult situation or to have a problem with no easy answer. For example, I've been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I really need your help. The phrase's origin comes from the Dutch word pikel, which means something piquant. It originally referred to a spiced, salted vinegar used as a preservative. In the 17th century, vegetables like cucumbers or gherkins that were preserved took the name. The idiom's meaning alludes to being as mixed up and disoriented as the pickled vegetables in a jar. The phrase may also have originated from baseball, where it referred to a player trapped between two bases, which is now more commonly called a rundown. Example: after losing the key to the safe, we found ourselves in a pickle.
Did you know up to snuff originated from the idea that sniff and snuff could improve a person's senses? Let's explore some quirky English idioms. Number 6, caught with your pants down, means being caught unprepared or in an embarrassing situation. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Number 7, go whole hog means to commit fully to something. Number 8, mind your P's and Q's reminds us to be careful about our behavior. It might come from minding your pints and quarts. Number 9, keep your powder dry means be prepared for action. Number 10, break the ice helps initiate conversation. Number 11, take the bull by the horns means to confront a problem head on. It comes from bullfighting. Number 12, chew the fat means to have a casual conversation. Number 13, up to snuff means to be up to the required standard. And finally, number 14, pass muster comes from military inspections. These colorful phrases add flavor to our language. Did you know that loose lips sink ships was a popular phrase in early America? Check out these early American phrases from the post-Revolutionary War Republic. Some even have a bit of a slogan vibe in the modern era. Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. This phrase originated during the Battle of Bunker Hill in 1775 to conserve ammunition. United we stand, divided we fall. Emphasizes that strength comes from unity. Make hay while the sun shines encourages taking advantage of favorable conditions. As American as apple pie describes something fundamentally American, Benjamin Franklin popularized an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure to encourage prudence. A penny saved is a penny earned, highlights the value of saving money. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, advises maintaining relationships with adversaries. The early bird catches the worm, promotes acting first for success. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, warns against risking everything on a single venture. God helps those who help themselves, emphasizes self-reliance. Strike while the iron is hot encourages quick action when opportunities arise. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, advises holding onto what you have. Necessity is the mother of invention, highlights creativity in problem solving. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, warns against assuming success prematurely. And finally, loose lips sink ships. Cautions against careless talk during times of conflict.
Remember to subscribe, like, comment, click the bell to get notified, and share. And if you'd like to support the channel with a $1 donation or whatever you'd like, I will like you right back. Thanks for watching, and we'll look for you in the next video.